Is the Canadian justice system fair and reliable? I personally believe it's fair, yet not 100% reliable for the innocent. For example, David Milgaard's case. David Milgaard went to prison for the rape and murder of Gail Miller, in which he did not commit. This all took place back on January 31st of 1969. David Milgaard and two friends, Ron Wilson and Nicole John, were on a road trip from Regina to Vancouver and on their way to pick up their buddy, Albert Cadrain. While three were driving to pick up Mr. Cadrain, they got lost and asked a woman for help. It was later presumed that this was Gail Miller, a 20-year-old nursing student on her way to work. It was very early in the morning when the three asked her, and she said she couldn't help them, so they all went on their way. A couple moments after their encounter with Gail, the group got stuck in the snow, and Ron and David went for help, leaving Nicole in the car, waiting for them to return. Milgaard went in the direction of the women from before, and Ron went in the other direction. Milgaard was later seen at a gas station about 15 minutes away, getting a map. This was believed to be around the time Milgaard killed Gail Miller. The odd thing about that, though, is on their way to Cadrain's house when they finally weren't lost, David insisted on pulling over to help another car that was stuck in the snow. These were the Milchucks. In a later interview, the couple couldn't believe that he'd just killed someone. Mr. Milchuck said he looked like a nice fella, calm. He wasn't nervous at the time, just a nice kid. On top of this all, he was just 16 years old, a kid. The group finally made it to Cadrain's at around 9 a.m. the following morning. In the first interviews, Nicole, Ron, and Cadrain all said that David was acting very normal that day and was with them the whole time, giving him an airtight alibi. Sometime in the afternoon, the group left and were on their way to Vancouver. It was right around the time Gail Miller's body was found in a ditch by a bunch of school kids. And this is when David starts to get put into the picture. 2 weeks after the group got back from the road trip, Cadrain went to the police, saying that he saw David come to his house in bloody clothes and was acting extremely abnormal, a complete 360 from his original story. It later came out that he just wanted the $2,000 reward for any information about the case. Within this time, and all the interviews that Ron and Nicole did, Ron eventually implicated David in the murder. Then, to top this off, Nicole said that she witnessed the murder, but wouldn't say anything about it in court, though her statement was still read to the jury. And that's all it took. A couple false witness claims, and the need to find a killer. David was convicted and sentenced to life in prison. The story doesn't end here. It's solved by Joyce Milgaard, David's mother, and a woman by the name of Linda Fisher. Joyce fought for her son for almost a quarter of a decade, spending thousands of dollars on investigators and so much time. This all seemed pointless until Joyce found Linda Fisher's report. Linda Fisher is the ex-wife of Larry Fisher, a convicted sex offender and the tenant of Mr. Cadrain. She says it's because her and Larry were fighting on the night of Gail's murder. She also claims that the fight happened right before the murder of Gail Miller. Within the next couple days after Gail's murder, she noticed one of her favorite paring knives was missing. She looked into it more and found out her missing paring knife matched the knife that was found at the scene. The police didn't look into this though, because when Linda made her claim, she was obviously not sober. At this time though, Larry Fisher started to look more and more like the real killer. Within the time David was in jail, Larry was arrested multiple times for sexual assault. In 1970, he was arrested for 4 counts of sexual assault and released 10 years later in 1980. From this time, Joyce and David fought for his freedom. It wasn't until December of 1991 when David got a chance to appeal again. This time, though, there was actually evidence to convict someone besides himself. He argued that Larry killed Gail Miller, not him, eventually leading to his freedom. Then, on April 14th of 1992, David was finally released from prison after 23 long years. He was finally free, and Larry Fisher was sent to jail for the murder of Gail Miller. This case, along with many others, is the reason why I believe the Canadian justice system is fair, yet not reliable for everyone.